I survived thousands of days over multiple hardcore worlds, so now we'll put all of that experience into a new world by creating the most insane builds and lore. But we can't do that without getting basic gear and setting up a nice starter base. I'm a little tardy to the party with the new updates, so all of this is new to me. Leaf litter. I wasted so much time exploring new items, the sun is setting. We should definitely tame a wolf. I want friends in this lonely world. We're jumping the skeleton. Get him. Do you guys call these wolves or dogs? This is also somewhat new, but we can make copper armor now, and I got some copper right beneath my toes. These are some shiny stompers. Let's also make a copper blade and some more gear. This zombie just dropped a chainmail chest plate. Are these better than copper? I have no idea, but I assume so. I spent my days adventuring through the wild, exploring and discovering new things I'd never seen before. Creepy things too. My goal was to find the perfect place for a starter base, ideally somewhere near a village. Well, this is half a success, I suppose. That cliff is perfect for our base, and it's near a village, though it may be a little abandoned. Aren't these things rare? I'm surprised I came across one of these. Well, you can't have everything. I'm glad we found this vast plains biome, though. It's perfect. Oh, I want one of these white horses. I mean, my name is Prince. It's only fitting to have a white steed. I'll come back for you. He'll wait for me loyally. Guys, do you see that overhanging cliff? There couldn't be a more perfect place for a base. Oh my goodness, it's overlooking the whole area. I love this place. We're setting up here. The abandoned village is over there, but the plains biome seems to be continuing through this valley, so I want to see if there's another village in that direction. Villagers will be extremely useful later in the game. That's why I want a village at least somewhere around here. Are you serious? This has to be a joke. This village is also abandoned. What even are the odds of this happening? I hope this is rare or something. I'm going home. Oh, I do need some food. While I store my items, let me explain a game plan for what's coming next, because we have a lot to do. In this world, we have one golden rule. Everything must be immersive. This means that everything we build has to blend in with the world. Just look at the difference between one of my worlds with this rule and one without it. In the one without the rule, everything is separated and feels so distant. Next to the main rule, we have a main goal. This world will one day be the ultimate hardcore world. What this means is that we'll have regions, lore, and mega structures that serve a purpose just like an open world game. Just so you can download the world, explore it, and move into it. So what we will build later has a special purpose as well, but I won't spoil it just yet. Okay, now that we are properly set up here, we can get started with actual progress. We'll do this in two phases: getting gear and building a starter base. We will first create our own mine shafts to get ourselves proper protective gear and tools, because without good tools, we can't build a starter base. Let's set up a small workstation here. Now we can dig into the unknown. Here began our diamond search, and it only took me about 20 minutes to find our first batch of diamonds. Finally. We urgently need paper because I'm finding diamonds faster than I thought I would. I don't want to collect too many diamonds without fortune on my pickaxe. We can set up a bit of the enchanting table here. Enchantment table? Which one is it? Anyways, to enchant, we also need experience points. I have a golden strategy for that. Let's make a shield first. This spawn is kinda terrible. We're way too high up. I'm just digging in a random direction. Okay, we found an opening, finally. Look at them lining up to give me the orbs they're hiding. I decided to take a stroll for a while, and I found this little guy. I gave him a little poke, and I put him in my pocket. Then I poked some more people and walked up to the nearby fortress. There, I poked some more people until I finally had enough XP. Let's soak this little guy. The landlord of the fortress was kind enough to give me a saddle so we can finally take our steed to our base. He didn't even move a block away. So loyal. We got a bit of extra cash, so we might as well make a jukebox. Now we can also check out this new music disc. Sounds good. Wow, this place really turned into a world I would be proud of when I was 9. It's going to look good eventually. We just need to enchant our gear, but getting XP isn't easy. We're going to take advantage of this night to get in some extra experience points. Look at them, they're all so eager to give me XP orbs. If you're wondering why we are suddenly at a mountain peak, I'm here to collect a bit of snow for my guest. He needs his protein. You know, now that we're here, we might as well get some pale wood. I'm planning on using the blocks in the starter base. We can feed this little guy some snow. Alright, look at him. So he's going to be very useful later on. Let's call him Blimp. We descended back into the mines for more riches until we struck gold. Oh my goodness, we found a spawner. We finally have a reliable XP source. There's no way. There is a skeleton spawner right next to the zombie spawner. How far away are they from each other? I did my calculations and they were just a couple blocks too far away from each other. I still built the XP farm in a way where both of them would be directed into the same room. If I want zombies, I'll stand in one corner, and if I want skeletons, I'll stand in the other corner. I then moved the enchanting table down here and spent some late nights XP grinding and expanding our wizardly abilities to add the best enchants to our tools and armor. I also put down stairs at the mine so we can come up more efficiently. Then I relocated my horses to make space for the next phase. I'll introduce you to my horses later. Now that we have good gear, it's time for the starter base. I really like what we got going here with this cliff, so I want to play into that and extend it. We'll have more space for the starter base, and it's about time that we built it. I started with terraforming the cliff, scaling it beyond the limitations of physics. Building a tower-like house on top of this cliff will really set an ethereal setting, so we can assign a magical element to this place that keeps the cliff and the house intact. For the house, I laid out the foundation with thick spruce logs that I later stripped, and to make the foundation look truly immovable, I crafted the new shelf item, which is really expensive but worth it for the look. I then continue building the rest of the house. The room above the spruce foundation we built is the storage room. Right outside the storage room you have the common area, and upstairs is my bedroom and library. To add a final touch to this mystical home, I took Blimp and myself up into the open sky to build a flag. And after carrying countless blocks into their places, my home is done, with only a few details remaining. The house looks really great, but the outside just looks barren. So we went on a little bit of an adventure to collect some required materials such as cacti for green dye and coral fans for makeshift flowers. Along the way we found a mansion which gifted me 2 totems. And we also added another animal to the family. When we returned, we dug out a little bit of the ground to give it a nice mushy texture to then fill it in with water. I built a fallen birch tree over our new pond to make a more convenient path, and to end it off we built a small animal pen for future livestock. I can finally put down my bed since we have green dye. Guess what my favorite color is? This is where I let all of my copper oxidize. Apparently if you spread them apart from each other, they oxidize faster. Last time I tried oxidizing copper, it took me like 400 Minecraft days, but we're gonna use a bit of this copper to make a little golem. Why does this not work? What am I doing wrong? Okay, we used the wrong block. There we go. This is Henry, the inventory dude. He'll manage our chests. Now that this place is looking awesome, it is time to move on to the next stage. This is the final stage of the video. Obviously, the giant sky island is the final goal here, but before we can do that, we need to go to the end because the thing we are building will be 2,000 feet in the air. After we get an elytra, we'll have to collect all of the required materials. The list of things to do is long, so let's head over to the nether. Why are all of my animals here? Even my camel. Golly, we need to move that nether portal. I walked down the corridors of the nether dimension to reach the fortress in which I fought fire. It was actually pretty easy. I mean, the fortress is right outside my nether spawn and I pretty much have OP armor. It still doesn't take away from the fact that blazes are the most annoying mobs to fight, unless you have fire resistance. After gathering the blaze rods, we made our way over to a warped forest that supposedly is an enderman biome, even though there are never any endermen. After searching for a while, we found enough endermen to combine them with our blaze powder. With them, I mean their pearls. And it was finally time to head to the stronghold. I wish my guest wasn't as slow as my subscriber growth. Please subscribe. If it was faster, I'd fly over to the stronghold, but that's not the case. I might increase its speed later. Running and swimming across thousands of blocks, we finally found the stronghold. After making our dramatic break-in, we found the end portal and jumped in without hesitation. Alright, Ender Dragon, let's make this battle easy for the both of us. Do you know what actually is easy? You'll get access to all of my builds, world downloads, and exclusive videos. Let's hope that this battle goes as smooth as that segue. That job is finished. Now let's hope that we find an end city with a boat. I'll give you a little spoiler and tell you that we did find that. I'd only wish that it didn't take us 5 tries. I found a boatless city, then another, then a third, then a fourth, and then yay! We finally got a city with a docked boat. I spent a couple hours in the end, and each city that we found has been obliterated by my sword. We needed the shulker shells. I mean, we got like 40,000 blocks to collect. After making our way home, I immediately began setting up our long upcoming grind. I first walked around my world, lifting up my chin with my gaze high in the sky to see what the best location is for the sky island we're building. I have future plans here down on the ground, so I don't want it to disturb the world beneath it. After finding the perfect spot, however, it was time to take a long ponder at the materials list. I think the best way to take on this list is if we break it up into groups. We have a lot of blocks from the same family. We can tackle grass and grass blocks first. If you're wondering why we'll collect grass and not just bone meal it's because I painted the grass by hand on the Sky Island and it's very natural looking. The second group is the rock category. We have blocks like tough, andesite, smooth basalt, and deep slate stuff that we can tackle one after the other. Then we can move over to the wood category and collect log variants such as spruce, birch, dark oak, and oak. After we scratch all of those items off our list, we'll only have a handful of items left to collect, and we'll see how we do those later. Anyways, let's begin with group 1. We'll start off with grass, and I think the only way to collect that is with shears. Guess we'll take some iron with us and be off. I dove down into the vast plains beneath our base, skipping through warm, blooming fields while annihilating any grass blade I came across. I went to different parts of our world so there wouldn't be any plain grassless patches of earth, except for parts of the world we'll likely never visit. Okay, that's one item down, together with 50 pairs of shears. Let's set up a storage unit so we can have some place to store these items. Now let's grab a silk touch spoon and collect some dirt. In the same fashion, we stroll through fields to then dig away at any grass blocks in our path. I try my best to mine grass blocks in a natural way, so you can't really tell an excavation mission was done around various parts of the world. I managed to do that really well, except for this part. Hey, you can't have everything, you know what I'm saying? Alright, that's one category scrapped off our list. Let's store these nicely within the chests we set up, and now we can be off to a darker segment. I'm being serious, let's tell the sun goodbye because the caves is where we'll be spending the next couple days. Firstly, we'll collect some tuff. My pickaxe is gonna feel like it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place, my pickaxe did, as did I. I considered getting a beacon, but it would first of all be a lot of work to get 3 skulls, but secondly, it would be a lot of work getting all of those iron blocks. So after careful consideration, I decided to just charge pickaxe first into digging all of this tuff and other upcoming rocks. After collecting all of that tuff, my pickaxe was begging for a break, so I smacked some extra diamonds into my pickaxe and continued to the next item, which is andesite. And while digging through andesite, we found something super rare. No way! Stone diamond ore? Yo, how rare is this? We're keeping this. Where's my silk touch pickaxe? Happily mining away at this rare diamond, I finished collecting andesite, moving on to collecting basalt in the nether. I mined into the ceiling and dug away. We spent a couple hours walking up and down the ceiling, and finally we returned home. After returning home, I crafted a bunch of furnaces to smelt the basalt into smooth basalt. I quickly stored away all of the stone type blocks, and just like that, one more category was off the list. Now it was time for the final major group, wood. We started off with spruce, using my iconic technique of stacking giant spruce trees on top of each other until they stretched hundreds of blocks into the sky. About halfway through, I realized I needed stripped wood, so I switched tactics and started holding down left and right click at the same time so the logs would auto strip as I mine. As good as my personal technique is, it's really mentally draining to just dig down in spirals. So after a while, I decided to head over to an old taiga biome with naturally huge trees. I really love this biome. It's honestly probably one of my favorites. Once all the spruce was collected, we moved on to birch. These biomes are always super calming and feel fresh, but this one in particular is extra fresh. I take back what I said before. Birch forests are definitely my favorite biome, despite the fact I literally got rid of the forest. This won't be our last deforestation rodeo today, but I definitely want to come back here and rebuild a custom seaside birch forest, with some extra stuff of course. By this point, my axe was in an absolutely terrible shape. Still, we headed into a dark oak forest right next to the birch biome and mined out a good chunk of that too. At this point, my tools were constantly running out of durability, and I couldn't keep slapping diamonds onto them forever. So naturally, the only logical solution were villagers. I hopped onto my happy guest and set off to find a village, but I almost immediately remembered just how painfully slow this thing is. So I did what I said I would probably do, and I increased the speed of the happy guest, since Mojang actually lets you do that. But if you guys don't like this, I might rerun it to how its speed was before in the next video. But if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't use the happy guest anymore because the default speed is just way too slow, man. Anyway, after speeding through the skies, we finally found a village. Transferring the villagers was very easy thanks to the new boat feature with the happy guests. I flew back with the villagers swinging below, and I quickly built the villagers a temporary place to stay and got to work on assigning jobs. I made one a Fletcher and the other a librarian. After finally getting mending, I grinded out some XP and fully repaired some of my tools and armor. Now there was nothing stopping us from finishing the wood category. I flew over to an island absolutely absolutely packed with oak trees. This valuable real estate was about to supply all the oak we'd ever need. Turns out the island was not enough, so I had to continue on to the mainland to finish the rest. But finally, after all of that, the entire wood category was complete. At this point, we had spent nearly 400 days in this world. I really was losing patience and wanted to finally build the Sky Island, so I put myself into 5th gear and began speedrunning the final few niche blocks. I traveled 2,000 blocks for this biome. We collected calcite and diorite. Then we spent the next couple hours searching for a lush cave for clay and glowberries, collecting different types of flowers, coral, and pickles, locating a swamp for lily pads, crafting different types of materials, and most importantly, collecting a copious amount of sand and gravel for concrete powder, which I literally towered into space for, to then turn it into a solid and mine it down. And with all of that done, we officially had all the items to start building the mega island. So let's get started. Obviously, for a build this insane, we are using a schematic. I started with one of the small side islands so we could put our stuff on there. Now we could easily build the Sky Island. Maybe easily isn't the right word to use here. So here began the end of our first grand journey. I began with the very bottom of this huge chunk of land floating in the sky. I didn't choose to build this Sky Island for no reason. It actually has a great purpose. We are officially 1 hour into building. I got quite a bit done. The roots of the Sky Island are finished and we are not slowing down. This Sky Island will be the world's spawn, and in future episodes we're going to add more things into the world so that in the end this will be a fully explorable map. My goodness, the main island is finally done. This took hours. With the main island done, we built the smaller island planted on it, built the sword that actually pierced both islands, holding them together, and in the final hour we built the remaining side islands. We're not done yet though. We have a lot of decorating to do and a couple of rivers to fill. Dude, there are so many monsters. I didn't have time to light up the place and my decorations are supposed to light it up. This makes it so annoying. Between all the arrows and punches from zombies, I decorated the riverbeds and hung all the glowberries to light up the place. The ponds and rivers also have pickles for extra lighting. I then filled the many ponds, decorating them afterwards with custom flowers and lily pads. Following, I filled the rivers, even working on detailed streams for waterfalls. One waterfall after the other, I soon finished the main island, moving on to the island up top where I filled in the last rivers and waterfalls. And with that, we are finally done. There already are many secrets for you to explore on this island, but there's also quite some lore to come. So I'll be off to the next episode. I'll catch you there. Subscribe to PyjamaPrince, yeah, subscribe to PyjamaPrince, yeah, subscribe to PyjamaPrince, come on and let's sub to PyjamaPrince, yeah.